UFC, a peak title wouldn't look bad on your resume. Come and try to get it.
Hey, Jesus Urbina, you got me, not Galvan. I just won this belt. I call the shots. It's me and you when you're not injured. Not Galvan, me and you.
Oh my goodness! Jesus Urbina! Oh, he catches DJ, and DJ's on wobble feet. The referee keeps DJ up, and it is over. You're not fighting for the Peak Fighting Championship belt without fighting the best.
What's up, guys?
What's up there, Luis?
Man, we're back in here in the cave. Is that what you said, Craig?
Yeah, the cave.
The
You didn't
treehouse.
know where we were?
Treehouse.
Let me turn your mic up just a little bit. There we go.
Talking the mic, Craig.
Yeah, the treehouse, Craig.
Yeah. The treehouse.
It's been. You said you've been trying to figure it out. Like,
It's secret.
Yeah, because I know the office, so I'm like, what are they doing? This is amazing green screen work he's working here. But no, yeah, you're in your treehouse.
yeah. So for those who don't know who Craig is, he's our commentator, Bellator veteran, just all around MMA guy. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Craig.
Oh yeah, well, most of you guys already know me from talking for 6 hours every peak. But if you don't know me, I'm the head coach of Texarkana Combat Sports and also have Evolution Combat Sports. I'm a professional fighter, so I like getting punched in the face. And that's pretty much what I'm doing here, sitting getting punched in the face by Jonny at this table.
Well,
just repeatedly.
We have big news. We do have big news.
Yes.
And Craig is officially the host of PFC. Well, it's Peak Fighting Reloaded. So it's going to be on KMS 33. So you get to see Craig every Friday night from 10 to 11 on Fox. So that's big news, and we thought no other than Craig fucking Campbell to do the show. So he's the host, and it's actually, I think it's going really well. So
Yeah, we just wrapped up filming the first episode. So me and Jonny we're kind of crazy about we like to we don't put time frames on stuff. We just do stuff. So
yeah, for sure.
we're knocking it out, bro.
Yeah, no, it came around quick, but I know it's something that you guys have been thinking about and looking at, and it's like just a really good platform for people to get out and see what peak fighting is.
Yeah.
And not have to buy a pay-per-view, not have to be live at the time, and just be hanging out on a Friday, and then bam, you got some fights. The time spot's amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It is.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be 3 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be on at like 2:30.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, Mom, I'm on TV. She's like, well, kinda. It's like, there was an infomercial, then there was you. But like,
You're on infomercial,
yeah,
Craig.
10 o'clock Friday, right after high school sports,
I know.
man.
It's
Prime time.
crazy.
Yeah.
So even if news is supposed to run, it's PFC Reloaded, Craig Campbell. It doesn't matter. No news.
Hey.
No news.
National news? Don't worry
No,
about it.
Craig Campbell.
You got the internet. Watch some fights.
They're trying to get into the fight. They want fight. I mean, everyone's wanting it, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty soon before Peacock starts trying to get some fighting going on, and everybody's going to it. Like all the major streaming platforms, they're picking up fighting.
Well, you see, like, boxing's kind of dying, too. Like, you're seeing all the promotions not be able to keep it going, and they want a fighting sport, so what can you put on? Yeah. MMA,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's your option.
I mean, that and there's so many more MMA shows that are intriguing than there are boxing fights that are intriguing. Excuse me. You got like pay-per-views and then Rough and Rowdy. That's like it.
Yeah.
Rough and Rowdy's funny.
Yeah, but Rough and Rowdy's like, it's popular because it's not really boxing, right?
Yeah,
like it's like
just crazy.
Pac-Man Jones against their heavyweight champ, and they both look my size, and you're like, okay, cool story.
Crazy. I love
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Dude,
It
Rough
sounds-
and Rowdy? Oh, it's awesome.
It sounds
It's
wild.
the
Amazing.
Barstool Sports guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's amazing. They got the midget ring girl.
Oh yeah.
They do. We need her.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. Tiny Tina or something. Tina, obviously something.
It's
No,
not
it's
Brid-
not Bridget the midget. She's a stripper.
She is a real thing. That is
She
real.
is a stripper.
You can go down to Shreveport, see her regularly.
Who,
From
Bridget?
What I understand, yeah.
The midget? Really?
She was in Albuquerque. when
She
we
was
were
in
there.
Albuquerque.
That's where it was. I knew I'd sling the signs.
You said Shreveport.
Man, I think it'd be awesome to have Bridget the midget. Or not like, that'd be cool. No, Rough and Rowdy's awesome, man. I like it.
But that's the thing is like, that's it. And so for MMA, well, in MMA, there's like the lower tier, highest tier, and there's no regional scene. It's like, how am I going to watch a guy who's going to be in the UFC before he's in the UFC? most people just look up the guy after he's been in the UFC, and then they watch those fights. But I think this is going to be a good opportunity for people to actually see. I mean, there's going to be at least, I think, 3 people in the next 2 cards that are very likely to go to a top-level show here pretty soon. So, hey, get and watch those previous fights would be pretty interesting for people.
Yeah, for sure. I think for sure. You know, Malik's on the first episode, and he fights September 12th on the Contender, so that's big. We're excited to have Jackie fight too, man. I'm excited for that fight. We're happy to have Jackie part of the family finally. So.
Let's go. I like that. That's a good fight.
Yeah, great fight. I'm just responding just here and there.
Oh, the IG?
Just no filter. Just fucking no script. This isn't PFC Reloaded, Craig. It's just fucking
Off the dome, PFC off the dome.
But no, I think honestly though, when you do look at it, networks, all these streaming platforms, they all need fights, you know. So
that's the thing that's in right now. I mean, especially with Jake Paul doing what he's doing, more people are watching combat sports, whether you like Jake Paul or not. Like,
I think I was telling this guys to my fighters at the gym, but people sleep on Jake Paul.
Yeah,
but he was a high school wrestler.
Did you watch the documentary?
Pretty decent one. Nah, I'm not gonna watch a documentary.
It was pretty good, dude. Like, I ain't gonna like the production.
There's no way it could have been better than the Jonny Manziel.
No, it wasn't. I watched that one immediately after. It's so good. I didn't know all of that stuff about him, dude. He was wild.
Yeah, it makes more sense now when you watch that documentary.
Oh yeah,
you're like, oh yeah, that's what you were on an airplane going into the ground.
Yeah,
yeah.
Tally, thanks for that. Really nice words. Yeah, that was rough for that poor guy.
he was making so much money though at such a young age. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, what do you expect? Urbina.
The champs in the chat.
Champ? Nice.
Champs here.
Champ is here. But yeah, dude, it's crazy though. When you're making that much money that young, it's tough.
Yeah.
I think the whole notion behind like not being able to make money off your own likeness in NCAA is just insane. Like,
dude, they blew up Kyle Field. He made them so much money. They don't say that in the documentary, but like Kyle Field was. I went to A&M I didn't go to A&M. Let me clarify. My dumb butt followed a girl, and I went to Blinn to try to get into A&M. But Kyle Field's a big deal. Like the history, the whatever. I mean, it wasn't a bad. I mean, whatever you want to say about the stadium itself, but like it was decent to go to and watch a football game. I can only imagine they were like, "Hey, we got this Manziel money, baby, blow it to the ground."
Yeah.
they owe money. That's what they said. And they said he came from rich parents and stuff. Like the whole time he's signing autographs and just making a kid $30,000 a pop.
They
bro.
tried to be like, yeah, but he doesn't really have that much money. But like, then they live on a golf course. Yeah. They're not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not in abject poverty.
Right.
They tried to make it seem like, oh, I'm just a normal middle class family. Normal middle class families don't live on golf courses.
Yeah. That's true.
So yeah, that might have been a double sell. Sell one thing and
I like it.
But like the Jake Paul thing, like I think people are coming around if he would just fight another boxer.
Yeah, for sure. People want to see that.
He lost to that boxer, so I think that hurt him.
Yeah.
He didn't get demolished, though.
No, he didn't.
That's
But I
what's
still
crazy.
think everyone, like, dude, no one's happy with. Oh, he didn't get demolished. Like, he didn't win. So that's what they look at.
Do you see what the UFC said about old boy fighting him? They were like, listen, for 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
And 40 years old, he did pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that's the truth.
It is the truth. What about Ngannou? That one that's coming out, Ngannou Fury.
Oh,
think
yeah, I
it'll
forgot they had a
happen?
boxing
You think it'll
match.
happen?
The biggest mismatch of all time.
Yeah,
You
that's
think it'll
cool.
happen?
Yeah.
They're gonna fight in a boxing in a boxing ring, or
I think something will happen.
Oh, no.
I think something.
I mean, he's got Mike Tyson in his corner, baby.
I know, dude, but
are
I
they
think
boxing
something
or
will happen.
MMA?
Boxing.
Oh yeah,
They get killed. They die.
there's so much different tech. This is a whole different sport, dude. So people don't understand.
Die anyway.
Ngannou was knocking dudes out. His feet weren't on the ground. He was moving, flying in through the air. Fury's one of the slickest 7 foot?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's gonna
Monster.
be a murdering. But he'll probably do the same thing Mayweather did with Conor.
Yeah,
like,
play with him.
Make it look legit.
Yeah,
And then when something happens, he'll be like, oh, and then he'll hit him.
That's the problem is, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
It's
either
like,
going to
it
fight MMA or...
ticks me off. We live in Texas. I'd be making so many casual bets right before the fight if I could. I wanted to put so much money on Jake Paul when I saw Nate Diaz in the back. I was like, oh, yeah. Jake Paul's about to murder him. Like,
Dad.
he's like 1 week off the juice. His traps were still like...
Yeah.
wasn't even training or nothing like anything like that. I don't think.
Yeah.
What did he get paid? 20 mil?
I'm sure you don't have to
10
fight.
mils? Dude, you could beat me up in the parking lot for 20. I'll let anyone on this live
Even the guy
knock
saying
me out.
hi?
Yeah, knock me out in the parking lot for $20 million. You can film it. I don't care. $20 million?
Yeah. I know, everyone's like, oh.
Ben Askren me right here.
Yeah. That's wild.
Poor Ben. Bailey Kingham.
So, what we got you in here, Craig? What's some fights you're looking forward to on this Beaumont card?
Man, I mean, realistically, the main event.
For sure.
I mean, I get super excited every time Colton fights, period.
Yeah.
I really just think he's one of the most dynamic. He's the most relaxed, dynamic fighter that I have had the pleasure of watching more than once live, and then getting to commentate him and see him elevate. This last fight that he had was like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought he might. I thought that might have been a little bit too big of a test for him. I mean, just having fighters of my own and watching guys, I was like, man, that's a tough fight. You know what I mean? But he just dominated it. I mean, there wasn't even a moment where it was like commentating, I felt like he was even in a little bit of trouble. So super excited to see him come out.
Point your mic back towards you
a little bit more.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. I was the same way.
Yeah, that fight was crazy. And then I didn't know the guy he was fighting, but Cameron Pressure. One, because I've watched a lot of Pressure. At one point, Larry, we were thinking we might be in the same weight class, so we've done a lot of film study on him. And he's one of those guys that he's deceiving, and he's extreme. It's clear he hits pretty hard. Like when he makes contact, guys they pay attention.
For sure.
So pretty excited to see him fight again. I don't know the guy that he's really fighting. I'd have to look him up a little bit.
Yeah, Pressure's making his pro debut for this one, so that's huge. He's
James Christopherson.
Hamed, Idris Hamed. That's going to be another good one. Ooh, do we have that rematch on this one? Yeah. Julio Cesar.
No, they moved to October 14th.
you ready for that one? You
Yeah,
excited?
yeah. Well, because that was
Yeah.
I was hyped. That was like the hype fight, and then it kind of just fizzled, with the. And I'm going to say it because I don't care. The state of Texas is going to lick my asshole. Hey, that was the worst call ever. It was the worst call of a downed opponent ever. One, his hand wasn't on the ground. It was on the black of the cage. And two, it was a millisecond of time. It was just such a bad call. I mean, and I hate to say this, but like that's been kind of the theme for the referees in Texas for the last 6 months. Peak, yeah, but a lot of other promotions have had, some rough refereeing. I mean, dudes get, they used to say Herb Dean, be like, if he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
Dude, the Texas guys are like, he's dead.
Yeah.
Drag his body out, and then I'll call the fight. Like, it's so ridiculous that the one kid get choked out twice.
Yeah.
Wake up, get choked out. Wake up, get choked out. And and then like the next week, that guy's back in the cage, and you're like, whoa, bro, whoa.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. I'll say that for you since you won't say that.
Yeah, that's insane.
We have some judging issues too.
Well, I say this on the broadcast constantly, and you sit cage side, you sit cage side, you see it.
Yeah.
It's cage side. Because if you don't know, I helped Jonny. We started Peak, and the first 4 shows I was helping. We were running and doing promotion and everything. And I can remember watching a fight and seeing a big head kick and being like, "Damn, she just kicked her in the face." And then I went into the back room to congratulate somebody from the last fight, and they're showing the replay, and she's missed the kick by a foot. Like, wasn't even close.
Yeah.
But because of my angle and the way the girl's head moved, I was like, oh, she landed that kick. And then I started realizing, judging's, even if you know what you're looking at, is a lot harder because of the angle. And I don't care what anybody says. They should just be looking at a broadcast television. They shouldn't be watching the fight right in front of them. It's the most fun place to watch the fight. It's not the best view of the fight.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I take it from a guy who's 5'7". I'm up at an angle.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're 6 foot or taller, you're getting a straight view. But I just think that's a real hard job that a lot of people are always like, oh, we need to get fighters to do this. What fighter is going to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the real problem, is what fighter wants to do it, because most fighters don't want to do it.
They don't even want their fight to go to a judge decision.
No.
So they don't want to be the judge. Heck, a lot of fighters don't even want to talk about. I feel bad when I talk about the fighters on broadcast sometimes when I'm negative because I'm a fighter. And I'm like, man,
For sure.
it's not as easy as it looks.
No.
And you're putting this guy down even though you know it's kind of, so.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the truth, though. Yes, we have heavyweights. Try to catch up. I'll be a judge. Bailey King, go get licensed.
Hey, there you go. Bailey would be a fantastic judge.
They let Tallies. It says they let male fights go longer than girl fights.
They let male fights.
Yeah. Oh no, Colton Loud Jackson fight was stopped pretty quick.
Yeah. I heard a lot of people saying that one was stopped.
I think it was stopped too fast, but I don't think it was going to change the outcome.
No.
Yeah.
But still.
But yeah, I mean, let the guy go out.
Yeah.
Well, people still want to. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Colton even wanted to see the outcome come out his
Yeah,
way. He wanted
yeah.
that. He didn't want to win that way. He wanted
You want to have a chance at some bonus money.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I do. I mean, I think it's just kind of. I don't know. Didn't we have a girl just get fucking slaughtered one night?
Like,
There's been a couple.
I mean, well, Rocky's not going to stop a fight usually.
yeah.
Even if you're tapping, sometimes Rocky will just let you die. No, Rocky's good, but I'm saying you're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Like he's not stopping. He's like, oh fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
I remember the Malik Lewis Paulo Silva fight one was brutal.
My theory was cage side after about 18 of the elbows is like, okay, he probably needs to stop it. But then he let 20 more go, so I was like, fuck, let him get his face elbowed off. There's only 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny sometimes how ground and pound from one judge will be immediately stopped, and then from another judge, they just stare and look. If you actually go back and watch my fight, I'm in mount for like 2.5 minutes, and I hit him. I don't know. I mean, they weren't hard, but I know I know some refs that have been like, oh, he hit, it's over,
He's done.
it's whatever. And then the referee that I had was just like, hey man, you're gonna have to kill him, and I was like, oh okay, never mind.
I know who that ref was.
Yeah.
He likes that. Oh shit. But no, seriously though, it does. It's just, like you said, it's different. I mean, that ref even come up and talk to me about that Malik Lewis fight. He was like, dude, they weren't really hurting him. I was like, well, they fucking started to. But, like, and you fucking could have let him go another 4 seconds and let him like
Make it to the end of the round.
Yeah, because it would have went to another round and like I was like, whatever.
There's so many moving parts, man. Yeah. There's so many moving parts. It's just, it's one of those things. Even you see it in the UFC.
Yeah.
So many moving parts that,
What do you do?
the human being element is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's why I always feel like it's really weird that they don't use replay
It's like a review.
as a review.
I say that all the time.
Have it.
You know?
They have the ability. A lot of times they just don't do it.
Yeah.
That's what's stupid.
Well, and you know why? Because a lot of the times not the promotions, the state, they have it written in so that the referee's ruling is final, and that's fine. But take it for what it is. Let the referee have an opportunity to review his decision, and then he can change it.
Sure.
And they just don't.
They don't. That's fucking
That would be smart. Yeah.
They
like,
did that in Texarkana when Rocky Scoggins
Yes.
fought
Gavin.
Like, dude, go to the replay. I went over there. It's like, we have fucking replay.
Yeah.
You mean
Yes.
it's not a tap? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rocky didn't see it, but then, like, dude, if you watch the video, he see. Oh, dude.
Well, it was just so obvious that like the film would have just cleared it up.
Yeah. And the kid knew he tapped when he got up. He didn't like.
Yeah,
he
he
thought
was
it was
like-
over.
And I always feel like it's rough for, the fighter in that situation because it's like, okay, I tap, but then you don't call it. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna keep fighting. And if the guy released it and you didn't stop it, well, am I cheating by continuing to fight? Or it's like when you see a guy get close to getting clipped in the groin, and you're like, did he get clipped in the groin? Well, he's getting 5 minutes. So at this point, it is what it is. And it's like, I joke with my guys all the time. I'm like, man, if it's close enough and they send me to the corner, deep breath.
It's a deep breath.
Dude, it's like, fuck, use it the other way like Mateo does. He said he got hit with a body shot from Sutcliffe. He kicked him in the fucking nuts. He said, I need to recover. I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome.
Bro, I'll take that point, is what he was thinking. He's like, I'll take that point.
He's like, fuck, I can't breathe.
I mean-
I didn't know what to do. Just kicked him in the nuts so I can get a breather myself.
I mean, I'm typically the guy that if you kick me in the groin, I want to get going as quick as possible because I'm a pace guy. So I don't want you to recover. But I mean, like if you're getting whooped on and you get that free shot, I mean, you know.
No, really, I was like, that's fucking smart.
I like the referees that are Rocky does this though. Certain referees will be like, "Hey, you're good now. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go." You know, when you're over there just like chilling. I do like that because it's like you have 5 minutes, but that doesn't mean we have to give you 5 minutes. You know, and like
Especially
a lot of
if we have
fighters,
20 fights.
right? Well, and you know, or conversely, if a guy's hurt and he's so hurt that we know that in 5 minutes he's not going to be better, we just call the thing. It can be done with right then and there.
Save a lot of time.
Well, save time, but also, like, you know, there's certain things. Like, oh, for example, one of my guys has gotten hit in the, you know, got hit and had a bad, you know, just a bad situation, and it was clear the moment I spoke to him. I was like, oh, he's not going to recover in 5 minutes. You don't recover from that in 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just kind of one of those weird rules where in some states you get to just stand there and you get your whole 5 minutes no matter what, and then in other states you basically get what the ref thinks you need.
That is strange.
So that's kind of, you know, there's so many gray areas, and when you're fighting in so many different states and different jurisdictions, although we have been primarily in Texas here for a little while.
Yeah.
I like Texas.
Which I wonder if that's hard. Do you think it's hard for amateurs if they come in, like say they're used to fighting in Arkansas or wherever, but then they come fight for us in Texas, and now it changes the whole game. Now they can throw elbows. Now they can do all that. But what if you go from Texas to Arkansas? I'm waiting on the day one of these amateurs accidentally throw an elbow in Arkansas because they're so used to fighting in Texas.
Well, what if they do that in Texas?
Yeah.
In Texas, because no other promotion in Texas lets them do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which I don't get. It's like, as an AMI, we're not wearing pads, so I can kick you in the forehead,
Yeah.
but I can't elbow you?
Yeah, it's weird.
Now, cuts, I mean, yeah, okay, whatever, if the promotion's not wanting to pay for more medical or more cuts or things of that nature, but the AMIs can't, I don't mean to be rude, but the AMIs can't really throw them good enough to matter.
Yeah.
So
And the ones that can are going to be fighting someone of that caliber themselves, usually.
I like that change, by the way. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's really cool that Texas is allowing that.
Munoz had a nasty cut from that elbow last fight.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah. It laid it open.
Munoz?
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
From Elijah Powell.
And then he got a submission right after.
Yeah.
It was super crazy.
And then I went in there and said his name wrong.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, I felt. I know all the guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I know all the guys. I feel so bad when I get a name wrong or I say something wrong because they're like, "Man, come on, Craig, how you gonna do me like that?"
Yeah.
Man, I'm so sorry. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Tally says there's no head kicks in Utah in amateur.
What?
There's no head kicks.
In Utah. What the
That's why nobody watches fights in Utah. Is there
That's
Is there
crazy.
anything cool in Utah?
Damn. Don't fight in Utah.
I heard in Denver they're doing like head stomps now. They
Yeah,
allow head
soccer
stomps
kicks
and soccer
are good.
kicks. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
let's go amateur series there.
Oh, shit. That would
Oh,
be terrible.
All Amy's, everything, and more. Only Amy's. Don't let the pros do it.
Dang.
That's wild. The
wild.
soccer kick is like super crazy, bro. That's like real. That's like is
Well, the soccer kick, yeah, I guess, but the stomp is where it gets weird.
yeah.
The stomp is where it gets a little.
Like when you're curb stomping someone, it's up too much.
That's
That is a little.
Soccer kicks one thing, but
like the knees to the top of the head in the old Pride days where the guy would be turtled and they'd knee him at the top of the head.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one I get being illegal for very intelligent reasons, and then the stomping that
Yeah.
one, soccer kicks I have no problem with. What's the difference with my head being here
Yeah.
and there?
Yeah.
It's a perception issue. It's like 12 to 6 elbows. It's the stupidest thing ever. These do not hurt more than any other elbow. So it's like I don't remember who said this. This is not my quote, but they were like basically like some old dude watched a guy break a brick with karate and was like, "That'll kill a man."
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I can break a brick with any elbow. Like that's just
dude, I love the fact. I love the fact though, like people say, "Man, what if they do that thing where they come up and put their nose?"
Oh,
in
the
their
palm
brain?"
strikes.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, nah." I guess they'll die in the
Yeah.
PFC cage, fucking instantly.
Yeah. The old theory that if you would palm somebody to the nose,
They
it
really
would kill
let
them.
them do that. I'm like,
it would
"No."
drive the bone
Yeah,
into
it's-
the brain.
Yeah.
I remember being told that by my first karate coach, and
Yeah.
you got to be really careful. And I went to a boxing gym, and he was like, "Hit him right in the nose," and I was like,
Are they
"Isn't
gonna
that gonna
die?
hurt him?" And he was like, "What? How many times has somebody boned? Have you watched a boxing match ever?"
Yeah, they're allowed to if they want. I mean, if they want to.
You know what I want to see
It'll
come
kill
back?
'em.
The boss root and clothesline.
Oh yes, we should just bring shit back.
Throw a
We need
forearm
someone
through.
to do it.
They do those palm strikes and like the combat jiu-jitsu. Don't they do that?
Slap. Well, yeah, you
They
can
can hit
do
them and stuff.
everything.
I'm not gonna say how I feel about that. I would literally rather watch slap fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
than
just
watch
like the
some
slap
dudes.
fighting? Or, well, you don't like the slap fighting.
So I'm gonna watch. No, whatever. It's whatever. It's great to watch. Live.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than watching two absolute crazy people stand across from each other and see which one blacks out first.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I have no problem with that.
I have no problem with this.
But jiu-jitsu, combat jiu-jitsu is the stupidest thing ever. Do MMA, you sissy, or
Yeah.
just do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I don't need to see crappy, slappy jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like where, like the one guy who is tougher. Basically, combat jiu-jitsu just comes down to which one of these dudes did MMA and which one of these dudes is jiu-jitsu guy. The jiu-jitsu guy's getting his face smacked in.
I just don't understand. But
Driving the bone into his brain.
it escalated quick. He's dead. Went from jiu-jitsu to combat death.
Hey, car jitsu now. Have you seen that?
Dude, that's crazy.
I've seen car boxing.
No, the car jiu-jitsu.
Car boxing sounds even better.
Dude, I love the guy. I saw he got out of his seatbelt like instantly, and then like fucking held the guy's seatbelt and just went.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's legal to like wrap him with the belt and everything.
it's
Oh, like a
great.
gi. Like you can use the seat
Well, you're
belt.
just screwed. If he gets on top, you're kind of just fucked because you're in a seat. You can't really move. You're just fucked. I mean, it's
Yeah,
epic.
like
It's
the
crazy.
logistics of that is, yeah.
Like, where are you going? dude?
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, even high school kids get in the back seat.
I've
What do we,
watched-
Yeah.
it's like, what are we doing in this front seat here? Like, what is this?
The boxing in the fucking phone booth. That's fun.
Yeah, MMA or it might be
it's-
boxing.
Yeah, just smoke.
Just brawling in a phone booth.
It's epic. I love it.
We just need to start putting a tire, like a big tire in the middle of and just have one foot in each and just
Yeah.
let them go to town.
That's how
bro.
peak fighting started. Did you not see the cage we had? Dude, the cage peak fighting started with you could touch hands.
Yeah.
it was
And
wild.
touch the cage.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people there. First time. It was awesome.
Oh, the first one was
crazy.
insane.
It was so
The
stupid.
first peak was
It was so bad. Like no one had any expectations of how shitty that was.
all
gonna
the
be.
seats were backwards, and I had to. I was the promoter, and
It
he was
was bad,
matchmaker,
man.
and I had to. I was escorting everyone to their seat. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
He was in the venue. I was outside because there's like this line at the door, and it goes all the way down hall 1 to the door, down the hallway.
Just cussing
and I'm like,
at us.
oh fuck, we need to get these people in. This is not good. Like we can't start the fight until everyone's in. Well, we should have just started the fights.
The peak cage was all of 20 feet.
We were just wrapping people.
This is in Texarkana, the
Yeah,
first one.
We had people sneaking beer cases into that.
Dude, I saw a dude, no lie, with a 30 stone, just handing beers out, and I was like, "What are you?" I like called the security, my buddy who's security. I'm like, "Hey, come here, come in." And he's like, "I'm not going." There's like 12 guys over there.
Dude, it was rough. It was
They
bad.
were putting rocks in the
Yes.
back door to get in.
Yes, it was crazy.
Dude, the struggle's been
Dude,
real.
the amount of people that didn't pay to get in was a lot.
Maybe
Had
as
to-
many as that were in.
Yeah, it
no,
was
but
crazy.
now the cage. And hold on, I got one opportunity here to be on live stating this for all the fighters to hear me. Okay. Which
And it
is-
might be my last.
Yeah, might never. They may
not gonna
never.
say this again.
Never going to be invited back.
God,
So the cage and the canvas, love it, beautiful, great. This time you got it right. Kept it a little bit looser.
Oh,
that
yeah.
the footing was a little better, But some of those guys, they were sliding all over the place. But I bring this up to say, I go, oh, okay, well we can go back to the vinyl.
Oh yeah.
Get back on that vinyl. And just rip all the skin from your body.
it was rough. It was slippery. It
So
was,
just trust me when a lot of guys come up to me, they're like, "Man, I can't get my footing. I can't." 1, wet your feet before you go in the cage, or have your coach pour water in.
yeah.
Pro tip. 2, moisturize your nasty feet.
Yeah.
You're slipping and sliding everywhere
Yeah.
because you haven't been moisturizing your toes.
Yeah, bro. Put something on there.
Hey, I'm not gonna put anyone on blast, but I'm gonna look in the camera. You know who I'm talking to.
You know who I'm talking to.
It's called baby oil. You need to use some.
I know.
Johnny, you said one time that you can tell, like you can always tell with our canvas, like who trains with people who's been in the UFC or been in stuff because they know how to handle that canvas because it comes in differently. You can tell the difference, but people who's been on that kind of canvas versus, like you said, the vinyl.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
you'll see the coaches pouring water over the fence.
Yeah.
And they're like, rub your feet.
Yeah.
I mean, you just.
And they do that in UFC as well too, right?
Yeah.
They wet their feet just the same.
Yeah, you can see that. Like, it's a permanent spot.
It's like a puddle mark.
Yeah, once you get the fights going there, you can see that mark just stay there. But it's like, maybe it's not every guy does it in the UFC.
No.
Some guys are just fine with moisturizing their feet. I mean, it's like, seriously, they're fine with it. They got enough,
Tackiness
shit.
there, yeah.
Enough oil. Yeah. You gotta get moisturize them toes, boy.
Oh, shit, dude.
Hey. Okay, I mean, he put it out there. So, Jacorian on Larry. I'm like, listen, I didn't say it. But, damn.
Dude, you can go get a pedicure at the place and get like the honey pedicure. You'll be good for a couple days.
I told him he needs to do what my first boxing coach told me. My first coach, he was like, this is a week before my very first boxing smoker. He goes, hey man, you've been moisturizing your face so you don't get cut? And I was like, I mean, not really, no. I mean, I put lotion on every once in a while. And he was like, what you got to do is you got to put baby oil, you got to put olive oil. Oh, and I was like, olive oil? So I put olive oil all on my face for like a week, and I was breaking out. Like, I was just like, this can't be right. And then he was like, no, man, baby oil. I was like, you did not say baby oil. You said olive oil.
Oh my God.
And he was like, why would you put olive oil on your face? And I was just like, all right, bet. But in all fairness, I had the same thing happen with one of my fighters. And, I said to put, what did I tell him? I said baby oil. And he just heard oil. And, he came back to the gym, and he was all broke out. And I was like, hey, what are you putting on your face? And he was like, man, I got canola oil. He was putting vegetable oil.
Oh, God.
He's like,
peanut oil.
like, no, don't do that.
I got that motor oil on there,
But-
10W30.
But what you do have to be careful about is not doing it like the 48 hours before the fight or whatever, because then you can get in trouble for that. You saturate your skin, and then when you start to sweat, it'll start to come out of your pores. But if you just do it the week before or a little bit of time before, it's usually not a big deal.
Jacarian's like, I did not put fucking oil on my face.
No, for the record, it was not. No.
Okay. Romeo, we'll see you on October 14th. You got to fight. Yeah, dude, I don't know. That's funny, though. A lot of people, you tell them how big the cage is, and when they first show up, they're like, holy fuck. You said it was, I was like, that's the size.
What's the technical size? Is it
32,
30.
31, it's like 32 feet.
32? Yeah. And
Across.
if I remember correctly, the biggest one in use prior in the country was 30.
Yeah, Bellator uses 30.
Bellator uses the 30.
So we're stupid.
So we have the biggest cage.
In America, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is. It's a big cage, but I don't know. I mean, as a wrestler, I've always thought that I liked smaller cages, but I liked a big cage. It didn't feel overwhelmingly large. I mean, I didn't really have to do a whole lot of chasing, but it's a good space to work in. I kind of like the idea of more room to work anyway. I've always found the cage. I kind of like the Pride way with the rope and everything, because I feel like the rope is a disadvantage for both people, whereas the cage is an advantage for somebody. I don't know how to explain it, but I kind of like the bigger open spaces, even though my game would say I want to press some dude into the cage.
Yeah.
It's nice too that we got rid of the. Because I remember commentating a few fights. There was the poles in between.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It looks so much better now. I remember.
Really get those out of the way.
Yeah.
That thing's built too well.
Structurally. Yeah.
That shit was stupid. Tally, I don't know. We're close to agreement on that. So we have a fight. We just don't know what kind of fight it'll be. Larry's trying to get in the action. Talk to your coach, Larry.
Larry's feeling attacked right now. Larry's like, "Hey, don't be putting me on blast."
But
It's like, nah.
I guess that's like crazy shit, though, man. It's wild.
Craig, did you ever fight for Peak, like in the early days of Peak, or was it just that one fight? Or
No, it's just the one fight.
okay,
Yeah.
That'd be a little fucked up.
Yeah, the way that we kind of looked at it was, just it's not a good look.
Yeah, I get that.
And there's a lot of promoters or matchmakers or whatever that they fight for their own promotion or they grapple for their own promotion or they do whatever. But it's like, I fought for Peak when I was, and most people don't realize this, but I'm not an employee of Peak. I don't work for Peak. I get hired to do the shows. I come in, I do those. So when I fought for Peak, it just felt right. It was like, okay, I'm not an employee. There's no underhanded, under table stuff.
Yeah.
It's on the up.
Yeah.
Here's the fight. We need to have this filled. Do you think you can fill it? Hey, for sure. Yeah, let's go. So no, but I am trying to get back in there. I've been on my girlish diet. I'm trying to get down to 135.
They do say that if you want to fight with Peak, you got to hop on the lives. That's what I've heard.
Is that what it
That's
is?
what I've heard.
They say that. That's how you get fights on the live in the comments. I'm like, really? Is that how this works?
Yeah, I'm trying.
I didn't know that.
Trying to get a couple more. I got a couple other opportunities, not quite as good as Malik and some of the other guys have, but I got a couple other things I'm wanting to pull on, and if I can get a win or two, that'd be nice. But we'll see how the future holds us. I'm busy doing the commentating and helping my guys out, and I'm kind of at that point in my career where it's got to be right for my career and right for me. I've taken tough fights. Anyone who knows me knows that I'll fight anyone in the parking lot, but that's just not always the best way of going about your career. So trying to find another good fight, and by good fight I mean a guy who can beat me and a guy I should have a good chance beating. I don't want gimme fights. I mean, if you look at my record, I don't have very many gimme fights. So it just depends. We'll see. We'll find out. See how motivated Big Jonny is over here. Although I'm getting up in that old man bracket where I got to save my money for all the brain scans. And all they're like, "Hey, dude, you might die, so we're gonna need you to. You need to get your brain scan. You need to get your heart looked at."
Don't say that on live. Oh, Luis, there's your clamps. A whole bag of them.
Yeah, I found them. I found them earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been looking for them. Well, Craig's over here.
He said, "I might die."
Yeah, well, we're not.
No, I didn't say I might. I said they said.
Might. Yeah.
They said you're old. We're afraid you might die.
Yeah.
So, no, I think it's just over 35 in most states.
Yes.
They make you
not
check
even
all your
Arkansas's
stuff.
not. It's 40. I think. They
Arkansas's
don't even
40?
make you do anything. They just have to do extra physical.
At 40, they're like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah. Sure you're
They
not
ask you
gonna die?
twice.
Yeah. Are you sure you're not gonna die?
We'll have two people ask
We
you.
think you could die, but are you sure you're not gonna die? That's the case.
That's hilarious.
And they're worried about other stuff.
So, so speaking of the next upcoming fights coming out here into Beaumont, what kind of, I didn't see the undercard, but what kind of undercard do we got coming? Do we have a lot of local kids? Or
Yes, we do have a lot of Beaumont locals, but we got to do great. Got a lot of fights, bro. Something's gonna have to happen.
Oh.
I think there's 26 fights on the board.
Oh.
He said, "Oh my God."
So last show we had a little issue with amateurs. We didn't have
Yeah.
medical issue. So we almost lost the amateur show. So I sometimes go fucking
From one
a
extreme
little
to another.
overboard. So
Nice.
I was like, this shit ain't happening no more. But now I'm like, oh my God. John Springs, Bailey's training partner.
Let's go. Let's go. What weight's he fight at?
55 or 70.
Okay.
Who's he fighting? Oh, yeah, he's fighting at 55.
Yeah, he's 55 on this
Bailey,
card.
don't put me on the spot, Greg. There's 26 fights, okay? Shit. No, he's a 55er.
We need 7 of those to drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
What was the last? How many did we have in the last? 16?
6 and
15 fights on the last
15
card.
fights, yeah.
15 fights, 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm doing the math here, and I'm not."
45,
The
man.
math's not mathing.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, the venue doesn't know yet, but hey, if you bought your tickets to PFC and it says it's 5:30 on them, you might want to get there at 5.
Get there a little early.
You piece of shit.
Well, that's kind of true though. I'm always kind of blown away the way that people treat it's awesome that people treat peak fighting the same way they would a big fight night.
Yeah.
You come out just for the main card, you get your dinner, you come whenever. But man, you're missing a lot of good fights.
I know.
This isn't the Amy brawl down at the hall.
Yeah.
These are the top. I would say almost all of the kids who fight Amy for peak are probably going to turn pro, which is
sure.
wild. I
Yeah.
mean, the fights that I started off on, you can go back and look at some of the. What did I fight on? My very first fights were Cage of Honor. They're still going in Missouri, but maybe 5 people from the whole time the promotion's been running have gotten to the UFC.
Yeah.
Maybe 20% of the guys turn pro, and that's normal for the regional scene. A lot of the guys just aren't they're not in it. They're just trying it, or they're just kind of getting into it or whatever. And that's the crazy thing about Peak is like you're watching these amateur fights, and a year from now you probably will see both of those guys in the cage as professionals. So man, get there early because it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
I think so.
I had a couple people ask me what happened.
Yeah.
Blood in the cage. I'm like, why can they find
The last couple shows, it's been like the first couple fights of the night have been started off like there for a while. We were doing a knockout almost every time the show would start. The first fight of the night was a knockout there for like 3 shows in a row.
Man, and you try to put an exciting fight first because it's like, who the hell wants to start the pay-per-view with a shit fight? Nobody. So
Gets the people.
You don't ever want to have a shit fight, but you just never know what's going to happen. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, you might make a fight and think you make every fight hoping for fireworks, but you just never know.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at that heavyweight fight. We were literally, I mean, I was like excited for days. And then I was like,
yeah, it's crazy.
I was excited for days.
No, really. I mean,
I showed up on Thursday. I saw both them boys.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Oh, and they were beefing at the press conference, dude.
Oh, I was getting excited. I was pumped. I was like,
and Florida through and through, boy, was coming with it.
Yeah.
He was not playing. He was the real deal. I like that, you know. But unfortunately, the fight ended the way it did. But that's 26. You got me. I'm in my head like, oh. I already mess up enough names. Hey, that's another thing. If you're watching the live right now, and you want to be talked about more, those information sheets that we give you, fill them out.
Yeah.
Those are for me. They don't read them. Johnny's not reading your hobbies.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care what your hobbies are.
I do not see those things.
No,
I don't see them.
They go to me.
Yeah.
They go to me and the other people on the team.
Yeah.
And so if you're not filling that out, or if you're just thinking like, oh, well, I'm just here to fight, one, no, you're not. Just get your mind right. But two, that's why you're not getting talked about, or that's why we don't know a lot about you, because you didn't fill that sheet out, or you're not coming up and introducing yourself. And I think we're going to try to do a little interview process this next time, just a short one during the weigh-in or after the weigh-in or during the ceremonial or something, so we can sit down with everybody and get a little chat. But like, man, if you got something to add, hey, come holler at me, man. I'd love to talk about it. But if you don't put it on that sheet, if it's not on the screen, Burgundy will not read it.
Yeah.
Okay?
And you could go over like pronunciations and stuff like that too. That'd be helpful.
Well, if I'm saying your name wrong, or if you even think I'm going to say your name wrong, come say it to me. Yes, I'm going to practice it. I'm going to say it, but I don't have enough time to come ask everybody.
For sure.
You know, and I try to get the tough ones, and then even then, I mess up guys I know.
But dude, they have to. But they have to, like, even guys with, like, if they have no following. I'm not asking you to have 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers. If you got 10 followers, dude, just post stuff. Like, make people. If people don't like what you're posting, at least they're watching. Like, they want you to fail or they want you to succeed. Most of the time, they want you to fail, anyways. But if you post something, they're gonna watch it. Even a picture, they're gonna go, oh, that person's doing great, whatever. Or, fuck, look at this person. I can't believe they're posting that. Like, it doesn't matter. Just post shit. You make yourself bigger, more marketable. Like, that's huge for all these guys. Like
Yeah, the Amies have to realize that no matter what you think, your job is to help the promotion promote you.
Yes.
The promoter, his job is to obviously promote you, but he needs something to work with. He can't just take a Facebook profile pic and be like, here's the guy that's going to, you got to be, retweeting, re-putting the things down, doing all of the reels. And you know what? I didn't for years. I was bad about it.
Yeah.
But if you're consistent, it does pay off. And
That's
you know
facts.
what? You don't need people to like you or hate you. You just need them to have an opinion.
Yep.
That's it. Nobody's, I don't know, maybe some people are. I'm going to say nobody, and then I'm going to get his favorite word, chastised. I'm going to get chastised over here for saying it. But I don't know anybody who is watching Floyd Mayweather pay-per-views when he was still boxing because they wanted to see him win.
Yeah.
That's true.
Everyone I knew, and I'm not saying everyone, but everyone I knew was like, man, I hope he gets knocked unconscious into the next round.
Yes.
And then he would go out there and skillfully beat the guy and maybe next time.
Yeah.
And it was like, he had an opinion. Jake Paul.
Same thing.
Say what you want to say. People are watching because they have an opinion. It's not because they like her, just have something. So, yeah, no, I agree with that. Get that stuff out.
That guy has an opinion. Jordan Bailey coming to light shit up in Texas. I like that. That makes me excited. Just seeing that. fucking gets me going. Because he's coming to fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight too.
Perry Stargell and Jordan Bailey. Fucking
That's gonna be a huge fight, bro.
Yes. So the problem I have is like what you're saying is like.
I feel like his nickname should be God of War, by the way.
Oh, Perry,
Dude.
like Kratos.
Dude, Kratos. Dude's got the scar. Dude, I mean, every time I see him, I'm like, I want to fight him.
Dude,
Yeah.
he just stares at you.
That's what I said. Imagine looking across the cage and seeing that guy standing there.
Well,
Like
he
that.
wouldn't be staring at you. He'd be staring. He's like staring. Like I'm like, dude, I didn't do anything. Dude. Fucking look at the other guy. Don't fucking stare at me. I know. I ain't got no problems. Perry. Shit, do I owe you something? Like what? Do you need a towel, bucket?
He's
what?
intense in back, too.
Dude,
He's
is
just
intense.
intense. He's an intense
just
guy.
He's a nice dude to talk to. Like,
Yeah.
I sit down and talk to him. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
he's
but every
normal.
time I interview him, he's got that
Oh,
look in his
yeah,
eye.
no,
He's
he
looking at
still
me
wants
like,
to kill you.
he's like, say something. I'm like, I'm just here. Just,
Like,
I'm not,
Barry,
hey, don't fight me, man.
you
Don't-
good, bro?
Gotta wind down for a minute, I
Hey,
guess. Like,
my coach used to always say, remember, they're not locking me in. They're locking you out to keep me from getting to you. It's like, that's how I feel every time I interview Perry. Every time I get in there, I'm like, all right, hey, dude, I'm leaving. Don't worry. I'm
We don't want to be.
not here for it, bro.
That's funny. It's the truth, though. He's an intense dude.
For sure. I don't even, and I know he's not being malicious. He's a very
No.
nice guy, but the eyes, man.
It's crazy.
Holy moly.
But I like it. So,
And then there's the opposites of those guys that are like so nice and so friendly and whatever, but you just watched him murder a
Yeah.
person. Like you just,
yeah, for sure.
you know, just the nicest guy you've ever met. He's just happy to see you, and oh my goodness. I'm just like, I just watched you commit. That's a felony.
Yes.
That wasn't in here.
yes,
That's, you know,
you're fucking going to prison.
that's the real cool thing about martial arts, and also just as like fighting goes from the low underground and now is, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, MMA is mainstream.
Yeah.
For sure.
And now that MMA is in the mainstream, it's just kind of, it's really cool to see that and just see like the normal guys, or like I even said in the last pay-per-view, we had a notary fighting.
So, dude, there was like a paralegal or some guy was fighting. Like,
Paralegal.
all kinds of stuff. It's
crazy.
crazy.
It's wild shit.
Also smart because you're a pro fighter, so you're poor.
Yeah, you gotta have a.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
how it goes?
Yeah.
Some of these guys don't know that.
No, I know. Some of these guys think they're going to make it to the UFC and magically not have to pay 38% in federal taxes.
You could be like Jake Paul, move to Puerto Rico. There you go.
Or just start your own promotion like Mayweather.
Yeah.
Start paying yourself.
That's crazy, though, dude.
No,
20%
man.
to this guy, 30% to this
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
20%
Oh, yeah.
to
People
this
don't
guy.
understand the game, man. They think that these guys are just, why would Nate Diaz go and do this?
Oh, shit, he wants money.
Yeah.
You know, it's prize money is taxed heavily, super heavily. It's just unfortunate for the fighters, but yeah, that's one of those things that I always joke with my guys because they're like, "You made what for the fight?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, that's what I made." But
Like net. You want to hear the net.
Yeah, you want to hear the net? Yo, it's like my gym. Let me tell you the net. Let me tell you net profits.
get you too
Let's not talk about gross.
Those gross numbers just look so much better.
They do. It looks so much better. Like, ever since I've had a job my whole entire life, I'm just like, gross, man. Gross. So what's up? What's been going on,
I
Craig?
like it. That's on Graham.
What we got on the IG over there?
We just got heavyweights wanting to fight. So,
Oh, let's go.
so we're going to bring in some heavyweights.
Noriega says, how are you doing with them rankings?
We did some the other week, didn't we?
Yeah, I think he
wants more?
wants more.
Okay, what's he want? What did we do? 125s? Let's do 35ers. You ready? Just
Yeah,
for Noriega.
pull the mic over that way.
Just for Noriega. It's fine. I don't want him to break the table like the last time. So Noriega, here you go, 135 males. Well, it's going to change now. But this is before we just made a fight. Blah, blah, blah. Xavier Franklin, number 1. Corey Sutcliffe, 2. Mateo Gonzalez, 3. Number 4. Brandon Meneses, number 5. Samuel James. But I will say this. Cody Williams has a big fight coming up. So that the rankings are all skewed. Yeah, fucking goofy.
And Colton Loud's waving high.
Colton Loud misses me.
Yeah. Daisy says Tyler Grimsley said 2 words the whole weekend and showed out in the cage.
Yeah.
He didn't talk much
He
at all.
didn't talk. I talked to him after the fight.
Yep.
He just
It's kind of like
thankful.
Orlando Sanders.
Yeah, Orlando.
His post-fight
don't talk.
interview.
Orlando doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Orlando does not
No,
talk.
he did not. He didn't. I was like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
He's quiet, but dude, there's another thing that I was going to touch on. Craig's talking about the amateurs, blah, 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 we're talking about that. But, dude, you could take our amateurs that have been fighting for us for a while, and you put them on the stage as a pro and talk. Some of our amateurs that have been doing this so long talk better than a lot of the pros we bring in that have been fighting for other promotions. It's like they can't even
Oh, it's
talk.
super obvious.
Yeah, it's sad.
They have media training without knowing that they're getting media training.
It's crazy.
Well,
And
the press conference is huge, man. And that's something awesome that Peak's doing. You know, and the first couple times you do it, no one shows up, and you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
This is kind of goofy. We're doing a press conference for nobody. But then as it's grown, and it gets to a good number, and as the last couple press conferences have been, they've been good. And you really, that's so true, man. You see such a big difference between the guys who've been fighting for Peak and doing those press conferences and the guys who are coming in who are just like, it's the lights. It's literally the lights. And you see them kind of like, they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to be themselves. Yeah, that was something that I noticed with my opponent. You know, I'm used to talking. I'm used to getting on there. I'm used to being very comfortable
he was like,
with myself. And he was like, oh, crap.
get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm up here with these
I've seen
savages.
that. I've seen that happen with like guys that come over from overseas, you know, and they come over from Brazil, something like that. They get under them lights, and there's like,
it's not their skill, it's their fucking loss.
And that's a real thing, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what anybody says, but that was one of the things we even talked about at the very beginning of Peak. I was like, you got to prepare people for what's really going to happen when they go to the next stage. You know, it's not just backroom stuff. I remember when I went to LFA for the first time, or LFC, I think it was LFC at the time. But anyway, I remember just being, I mean, there's TV cameras, there's green screen, there's, all the things that Peak has.
yeah,
But it threw me off.
yeah, I bet.
I mean, a lot threw me off. I was kind of like, oh man, like I'm here.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. But it felt like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big learning curve. That's a real big learning curve for some guys. And then for some guys, they've been doing it their whole amateur career for Peak. So like, oh, this is how you fight. This is what you're supposed
They
to
don't
do.
know a difference.
Yeah,
And I do think it is a problem. A lot of people don't want to say it or use it as a problem, but it is a problem. You come over, dude, even like some of these kids, they come over, some can handle it, some can't, but like they come out, man, you think you show up at the arena, what, they're there at 3 o'clock? Probably?
yeah,
3?
4 o'clock.
I mean, I show up at 5-ish, and I'm like, oh, there's people in here. But then I walk back to wherever I go, come back cage side, and I'm like, oh, fuck, there's more people here. So if you're fighting later on a big card for Peak and you're an amateur and you've never fought, like even in a convention center that has all the lights and glitz, and then you get thrown to the fucking that, you come in at 3, there's no one in the building.
yeah,
You come walk out at 6:30, 7 o'clock, you're like, what the fuck? What am I doing? What's going on? So it's a real thing, I think. I mean, it does it to me, and I see it. Like I'm walking to go sit to watch fights, and I'm like, the fuck did all these people come from in an hour?
Yeah.
Like you just don't notice it, and it's just like, ooh.
It's been a lot more apparent, like at Frisco. The last fight at Frisco was really apparent. Because the very first couple fights, I was like, dang, there's not too many people. And then all of a sudden, there was everybody.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's
you don't
freaks.
notice them coming in. They just like they're there.
They're
when
there.
they-
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, that's what throws you off.
Plus the energy. Like some guys like the crowd.
Yeah,
You know, some guys like the crowd too much. Like they shouldn't, they shouldn't listen to the crowd response, and they do, and vice versa. I'm a guy that I don't really notice. I just kind of blinders. It's like irrelevant. I've fought in front of like 500 people, and I think the one for Bellator was about 22 or something like that. It just felt the same to me.
Yeah.
It's just like blinders. I'm walking out to a cage. It is what it is. But yeah, that's a big step up. I'm excited for the next year because I really feel like Peak's finally got that traction on the regional and national scene that is gonna start to really just more people are gonna be coming to the fights.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been very apparent the last couple.
The ticket number we've already got from Beaumont is like double what we were going into at this time. It's already double what we did last time there at this time far out. So the proof is happening. It's just crazy. And then TV, Fox is crazy. Craig on Fox.
Craig on Fox. Hey, Craig
on Fox.
Like everyone's gonna be like, "Hey, I saw Peak." No, it's Craig on Fox.
Craig Campbell show.
That's Craig. Craig on Fox.
I like it.
I love it.
It's gonna be.
I love
awesome.
it.
It's gonna be awesome.
I think it's great. And then we could do our reality show one day
Yeah.
on Fox.
Let's go.
Oh shit, Craig like I'm fucking not doing
On
that.
Fox.
Craig on Fox. I like it. All right, Luis, what else do you got for us? Because I know you're in charge of this shit.
Man, I think that's pretty much it we talked about. We need to get Craig back on here some more,
Well, I
though.
know, but he's busy.
I
Oh, he's
know.
got it. What do you got going on, Craig?
bee.
Gym's going everywhere. Fucking
Jim's coming up everywhere. Yeah, that's for sure.
TV show host. Shit. Damn,
Busy.
bro.
Busy.
I mean, it's crazy.
Still got to train so I can beat people up.
Yeah. So, I
No
guess
card-
if you're in the Texarkana
no
area
card
and you
jujitsu.
don't want your kid to go to school and get pummeled,
That's right.
I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something actually way worse. Some people might get offended, but yeah, if you're in Texarkana and your kids need to go learn not to be a snowflake, take them to Craig.
That's true.
Texarkana Combat Sports, am I right?
Yep.
Yep.
TCS.
If you live in Hope, Craig can tell you a little bit more about what they got going on there too. That's actually a cool ass thing.
Yeah, I'm trying. That's what I really want TCS to be, and what I'm trying to like. You hear this all the time, but I want to change. I want to break the mold of the way that martial arts and the way that fighting is not only sold but viewed by the fitness world, which is it's super niche right now.
Yeah.
You know, everybody goes and lifts. Everybody's mom or dad has heard about cardio kickboxing, but you can just take the cardio kickboxing and just put it into a real setting.
Yeah.
And you're getting real work at a non-contact, you know,
You're correct.
and get all the benefits of it. And then jiu-jitsu and wrestling and no-gi. So what we're doing is coupling that with another gym. So now you have a gym membership and you have the gym, the fight gym right there, and you have a 24-hour access gym. So it's
everything.
What do you want to do in one facility? And that helps bring the cost down.
Yeah.
So that you're not having to pay like exorbitant fees. Like for me at Texarkana Combat Sports, it's more expensive for me to have the kids class than it is for me there because of the insurance and things of that nature. So it's a win-win for everybody and get more people in the door and kind of just share how powerful martial arts are. The reason MMA is so popular and the reason that it's grown so much is because it's a net positive for almost everybody involved. I won't say everybody, but
No, you're in the 95, 98%.
it's a net positive.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And for me, I always feel like it removes filters of what I call filters of weakness. So, man, hey, you want to get stronger, you want to get your kids stronger, you want to get anybody stronger, bring them in, man. Martial arts
Yeah,
are
they
all
don't
about
have to fight.
resilience. No, 90% of my people, I have over 100 members between the two schools, and 4 or 5 fight, you know? And we got great fighters, but that's not what people's goals are, you know? So, yeah, come on in. We'd love to help you out.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super awesome. I'm excited for it, Craig. I'm excited for your new journeys and your new gyms opening up all over the place. So
I appreciate you guys. We'll be back. Hey, you're going to be seeing plenty of me.
yeah,
I
for
know.
sure.
Friday nights.
Hey, Friday nights.
Night special. Friday Night Lights with Craig.
Fox
Let's go,
33.
baby.
Check him out. Check us out on
It's
Fox
in
33.
Tyler, Shreveport, Monroe, Texarkana, fucking everywhere.
I wore the good purple shirt, so check it out.
That's right.
But-
So yeah,
All right, guys. I got something special coming up, too. I'm going to do it on Instagram here in a little bit. We've been getting bothered about people wanting some shit that I think is crazy, but it's coming up special. I'll do something here in about an hour or so. Got something special for you guys, and we'll go from there.
all right, guys. Well, Craig, I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you come back more often, and let's chop it up next time.